What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday night. I know Eastern time it's about 11:30. Just I don't know. I figured I'd get a good hangout stream or whatever going tonight for you guys. BSM Podcast, BSM Ballard Sports Media podcast style, just audio, just hang out, whatever. Episode 39, one away from 40 of these, which I think is pretty cool. So good unprofessional sports show tonight. Solo style for myself is, it's practically that way now from now on. But it went well. Um, so what's up, Nate? How you doing? Just figured I'd actually get a stream in and talk with you guys. Um, so I guess I could go ahead and drop the link. We won't go too long. Maybe an hour. I don't know. But, yep. Just hang out. I practically covered all the sports that I wanted to cover tonight on the show. Hold on one second. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. Not sure. I'm trying to find something specific on here. I don't know.
Bullshit. Yeah, I've heard it both ways.
I'm just screwing around. But again, I hope everyone had a good day. I said this, but didn't go too far into it on the show tonight. I said, Bama, what are you doing? Well, I mean, Alabama came into the season, right? First off, preseason favorite for the championship, which I don't buy one bit. Their defense was great against Miami. It was great against who they play? Mercer, but piss poor against Florida. A couple good turnovers. Don't get it wrong. You could sit there and say it's one of those games that looked worse on paper with the score and everything, and you might be right. But I mean, and you could say environment and the swamp played a key role. I don't want to hear that. I really don't. I just think that there's a lot of things that could have gone better for the Tide in that game. Some things that, like you said, oh, that was just great. That was perfect. A couple good throws by Bryce. And again, they're still at number one. But I think that's a factor too. Now, Bama, I think, as long as they don't lose a game, they're number one all season. Run the table, 12-0, hit Atlanta, and just another game. You get an easy one with Georgia at the SEC title. I mean, but what's going to happen though? If you're Alabama, and don't get me wrong, as a fan, obviously I want them to win every game. No kidding. But hold on. Sorry. If you're Alabama and you win these tough games coming up, you have A&M, you got Ole Miss, have to go to Jordan-Hare, by the way. You have all these games. Where do you mess up? somebody is going to beat Alabama this year, right? Whether that be Georgia in the SEC title, which, quite honestly, I might troll a little bit, but honestly, it's likely. It's likely that happens. It'll be Georgia. It might be it might be uh, um Auburn at Jordan Hare. It might be whoever. What's up, Nate? What's up, Jeff? Anyone's welcome in here. Feel free to. This one back here is not. This is. Oh God! It's got an address on here. I'm not gonna read it out. I'm just gonna block and kick this guy. There. We don't take hackers. Sorry. Just go away. There's some troll putting it as his name, like a Pennsylvania address on there, and literally like his channel name, because you can view like what account it's associated with. I think it literally said like the smart anonymous hacker, something like that. I don't know. LW, what's up, buddy? Roll Tide. Doesn't matter if they beat Ole Miss 67-65, just win. Look, I know, I get what you're saying. Just win the games, right? And you might sit there and say Bama could run the table, have a 15-0 undefeated, and repeat as champions. Doesn't matter if they struggle, but they win the games. I get that, man. I wanted this team, though, to be like, I wanted to. Last year was all about the offense. This year, I figured, okay, can we get it back to defense? Man, I want to see us get some picks, force fumbles, some sacks, some pressure on quarterbacks. I want to see elite pass rush. I love the old school classic Alabama football that it used to be. In all honesty. But that's just how I view it. Again, I dropped the StreamYard link. Anyone's welcome, although we just had someone in the back with the address as his name. I'm not putting that out. So. Ooh. Jeff, roll tide, buddy. Nate's in here. He changed his name, too. What is this? Nate the Great wants Frostfire. Doesn't everybody? That's the most overhyped, over-talked about hire in history. It might not even be close. You know how much Paul Feinbaum went off about, oh, Scott Frost this, Scott Frost that. I think he could be the guy and this and that. His alma mater. Really? Look where it's gotten him. Can't make a bowl game. Can't even make a bowl game. He's been there for what? What's he in his fourth season or something? That's ridiculous. Someone get in here, man. It's up to you guys. I know it is late. I apologize. I'm up. It's not even 11 o'clock my time yet. I don't really got anything going on tomorrow. I'm excited for tomorrow night. Got WWE Raw. What's up, Damian Michael Nix? What's up, Ballard? What's up, Damian? Good to see you in here. I feel like I recognize that name, but I don't. I really don't know, but good to see you in here. Tom Brady with a 5-touchdown game today. Impressive. Bucks looking good, picking it up a bit. I don't think they're going to repeat as Super Bowl champs, though. Let's just be honest. You know how hard that is to do. We saw it with Mahomes last year, of course. They could. I doubt it. Ask whatever you want, Damien. For playoff team prediction? Gosh. I mean, it's still too early to tell. I don't know. I think Bama could do it. I really do. I'm gonna hold my breath. I'm gonna say Bama does make it right now, honestly, in my opinion. Tell you what I'll do. I'll type it out in the comments, and then I'll put it up on the screen, and I'll talk about it. I'll go, and these are in a certain order. I'm just listing the teams. You can put them in any order you want to. Again, you say whatever you want to about this. These are practically right now three of these teams are in the top four now. But if these teams play their cards right, we could see something like this. I got Alabama, Oklahoma, Oregon, and Penn State. Yeah, that's what I see right now. I don't even think Bama gets in at number one. It might be Oklahoma. I don't know. Those are the four teams. You put them in any order you want to. That's what I see right now. I think Oregon proves something going to Columbus and not only getting a win, getting a big win over Ohio State. Oklahoma, at the very least, you could say they'll just run through the Big 12 because there's really nothing outside of them. So, of course, they're going to win the Big 12. And if that's the case, they're either undefeated or with only one loss if they do slip up somewhere. But being a Big 12 champion, one loss or less, they get in. Penn State, I thought, had a great game against Auburn. Now, I said this about Penn State in the preseason. I think they're here to show that it wasn't just a fluke what happened last year. I think it was a big win that they got over Auburn, and I think it showed some good defense. I think it showed great offense too. Struggled at times, but we'll see. Does Ole Miss have? Yeah, Ole Miss is still undefeated, 3-0. That's right, 13th in the nation. Their first test truly comes at Alabama. I think that could be an undefeated matchup here in a couple weeks. If they pull that off, let's say Bama's number one. Let's say whether teams in front of them lose or not, but let's say they keep moving up, right? Let's say they make it at like number 10. You're looking at a top 10 matchup with Ole Miss and Bama. I see you in there, Neo. I was just explaining that. I really for this. Hold on. Let me answer Damien real quick. Ole Miss has a chance. Their first test comes to Alabama. The game's not in Oxford. It's in Tuscaloosa. They get a road upset like that. First off, the offense looks like it's pretty darn good, almost unstoppable. Even if they lose that Bama game, they got to run the rest of the table, but they got to do it convincingly against other teams in the SEC, such as Mississippi State, of course, LSU, Auburn, all these other teams, right? So, yeah, they have a chance. There is a path. It's not easy, but it's doable. There's a lot of teams that have a chance. Back to Neo's comment. What I was just explaining to. Blue troll account, real name. Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. So, Neo, let me explain this list. I don't know how to put this list. These are the 4 teams right now that I see. You put them in any order you want to. I really don't know. I think right now, these are all tied for first. Even Alabama, I'm seeing some struggles, man. We struggled against Florida. We finally met our match, or they, because if I want to be a sports guy, I don't want to be biased and keep saying we, but whatever. Alabama met their match against Florida. They were finally tested. They went to the swamp. They got the good win. They pulled it off. But they finally played an opponent and didn't look like what they did to start the season, honestly. I saw the offense, but the defense struggled a little bit. Not that Florida's got an amazing offense, quarterback and everything, but man, holy cow. If you want to come in here, Neo, and Oklahoma too, yeah. Anyone's welcome in here. I don't care. Come on in. Feel free to. But I don't know what you want me to do. Oklahoma struggle with Tulane, and that's fair. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they're struggle bus. Streamer link. I'll tell you what. The A&M is 3-0. Is Jimbo right? They meet Alabama here in a couple weeks. Actually, isn't that our next game? Who do they play? No, they don't meet each other till October 9th, but still. That game's in College Station, by the way. Jimbo practically said he's going to kick Saban's ass when he saw him. Saban said what? In golf? I mean, they're not bad. Their defense is really good. They have an offense. It didn't look great against Colorado week 2, but I mean, it's there. Georgia should be number 2. I mean, they are number 2. Oh, you're talking about my list, yeah. No, this one was Neo. This was what I could see happening for the college football playoff, not the rankings as of right now. I'm talking about teams that could make the college football playoff with the Final Four that we have when it's all said and done. And if Georgia and Alabama meet in the SEC title, one of them has to lose. You really think Kirby can pull off the ultimate upset over Nick Saban? Well, let's just be honest, of course. Bama's absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, beatable this year. We are not ready. I am sorry. You don't see Georgia? I could. Yeah, I don't know. Georgia should. Georgia's going to. Okay, here's the thing. Now that I think about it, you're right. Because you should have to, but you don't have to win your conference to get in the playoff. All I'm saying, it has to be a close game. And now that I think about it, Georgia's defense is pretty good, just as good as Bama's. Offenses are kind of in the same boat in a way. That could be another close game. It could end up being like a 24-21 or something like that. Type of game. I think if Georgia Georgia could beat Alabama. If the losing team, I'll put it that way, the losing team, if it's an undefeated matchup, if the losing team of this game can keep it a touchdown or less deficit when it's all said and done, they could both get in for sure. Defense is better than Bama's? Wow. Our defense is pretty good. I don't know. At least I thought. Georgia lost quite a few defensive players in a way. It honestly, I mean, Neo might be right. You got to at least say that it's close. What's up, J-Dub?
Hey.
What's up? Hold on. Let me get a background here. Let's do something like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Did I see it? Which one? Is Neo trying to compare South Carolina to Florida right now? Is that what he's doing? Which fight song was it? We heard it.
That was Iowa.
Yeah? The Hawkeye.
And I'm going to stick by my guns and say that Iowa's still going to win the West, but I don't think they can beat any of the teams that would be quote-unquote playoff caliber teams. I think they're a legitimate 5 through 10 team, but they're not a 1 through 4 team.
Yeah, Neo, our defense was struggling. Okay, Jeff, do you think yesterday was a factor of our defense struggling, or do you think that maybe Florida's offense isn't getting enough credit, honestly? Because, I mean, I kind of agree with Neo here, but I really don't know what to say on that. Yeah, the defense struggled, but, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. You got to think environment with the swamp.
Our defense struggled. They were sickening. They were pathetic. And I hope they suffer. I hope they suffer terribly at practice this week. And I suspect that they will. I guarantee you're going to see 4 or 5 different starters Saturday against Southern Miss. There's going to be some people sitting on the bench after this.
Yeah.
Saban was embarrassed.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of guys getting ass chewings right now. And that's for sure.
It was a humiliating effort.
Yeah, I don't think much about that. I think you mentioned effort. In all honesty, it really didn't look like they were trying at all.
Well, I think they were out of position and they were getting their dicks handed to them. What happened to Alabama Saturday was what Alabama does to other teams almost without exception.
Right.
I have to go all the way. I have to go all the way back to the 2018 national championship game to think of a game in which Alabama was physically beaten by the other team, where they were just physically outmatched. And that can't happen if you wear a crimson hat.
Yeah. I would agree.
Now, all that said, all the poo-pooing said, and as furious as the Bama Nation is right now, the Alabama faithful are right now, and they're embarrassed and they're mad. That doesn't mean that there were. I didn't see anything systemically broke. There isn't anything broke. There isn't anything that can't be fixed.
Right.
It's just it better get fixed, and it better get fixed in 2 weeks, or Lane Kiffin's going to beat us at BDS, and we'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah, I mean it. You have to think that, okay, Emory Jones threw for 195 yards. I'm at least glad when I look at that. We didn't give up 200 yards. We didn't quite give up 100 yards rushing on the ground. I mean, it like some of the plays.
We gave up over 250 yards. What are you talking about? We just didn't give up 100 to a single individual.
Oh, okay, that's what I was like misunderstanding there. I apologize, but I mean,
they ran it all over our ass.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say, quite honestly, about this. It's got to get fixed, and I knew going into this game, this was going to see where we truly were, because I'm not going to base it off a Mercer game or a depleted Miami team that obviously isn't what maybe some people were expecting with De'Aaron King. I mean, this was it. This was our first
King is
true
garbage.
test.
He's garbage.
I know. And that's been proven now. I mean, trust me, a lot of Miami fans this offseason were like really going after it. Like, this is our guy. He's ready to go. And we got an offense. And I mean,
the thing that gives me hope in this whole situation is that last year, Ole Miss, they didn't surprise us, but they startled us.
Right.
We didn't think that game was going to be. Didn't think the game was going to be as close as it was, and we got pushed. And we got punched in the mouth, and we found out that our blood's red too.
Right.
But I just said this is the same thing I said on D4's show earlier tonight, but I'm going to say it again. That actually helped Alabama. It startled them, and it woke them up.
Yeah.
And it made them realize, hey,
we're vulnerable.
We still got to show up and play.
Yeah. Well, that
maybe that's what happens with this game. Maybe this game.
This is the wake-up call.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, you hope, definitely. But, I mean, look.
Oh, I hope. I hope.
Yeah. There's no guarantee on it, but.
There's my man, Chase McClellan.
Yeah, I love Jace McClellan this year, man. I think he's a freshman, isn't he? I know he's new. But I mean, I'm looking here. I'll share this with you. Let's look at this game summary for Florida and Alabama here. Look at this. So this is what pisses me off here. Forget yardage. 26 first downs for Florida. 19 for out. That is sad.
Yeah.
That's if you listen. Yeah.
We could not get off the field and we could not run the ball.
Right. And listen to what, if you go back, find any Nick Saban loss. I mean, you could go find an Iron Bowl a few years ago, go find a Clemson loss. The one thing, especially go back and look at that 44-16 game a few years ago. If you go back and listen to Saban, the one problem he always points out is we had a hard time getting off the field on third down and putting drives away. And that is what they struggled with in this game. And they're just lucky that, first off, they did get a turnover or two, and they were able to get away with it. And first off, also, you got to look there that they did fail on the 2-point try there to try the game up. If they get that, then, I mean, they could pretty much get the ball back at some point, and we could lose a game. Who knows? I just... Jacob wants me to read his comment. Okay. Bama fans are overreacting. They still have a great team. They're acting ridiculous. Y'all need to chill out. This happens every season with Bama. They have gotten better. Okay, stop. Just the thing with this year, though, is that we have a lot of experience on defense that I think has been the key to our success so far. And if that's not leading us along with young offense, Bryce Young, and a young offense, because, I mean, think about everyone we just replaced. Right? If you can't, if we go in and we face one of the better defenses, such as a Georgia and Atlanta, let's say Bryce Young's finally met his match, and they're stopping him and slowing him down a little bit, right? They're slowing down the running backs. They're slowing them down. You got to then put your hope in the defense. And what I saw yesterday, I don't get it together. I just don't know, man.
The thing that I'm worried about is that my secret fear is going to come true, because I've been saying, and you can go back and look it up.
It's all over on my channel, I'm sure, whatever you're fixing to say.
It's not this year. It's not this year. It's the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Look the hell out then.
Yeah.
We could be devastatingly impressive.
Yeah.
But we got to get through this year.
Right.
And I don't want 2019 to repeat itself.
Yeah.
But we'll see. What we can't have is let's just take care of business. Go week by week. Don't worry about what's going to happen in October. We're not in October yet. Let's worry about Southern Miss and getting better.
Yeah. Shout out to Sippy Sports too. I hope I'd like to talk with them this week about that game.
Yeah, it's a process. It's a step at a time. It should be a little bit boring, a little bit methodical, a little bit machine-like.
And Bama's been.
That's what we've gotten used to.
Right. I mean, in recent years, they've been in these positions. I mean, look, last year, of course, we were senior-led mostly on offense. But, I mean, still, with the defense, it looked great at the start. Then they finally met a match with Ole Miss. They got it together, and even against Florida in the SEC title game, it got exposed a little bit. But the defense was not on point all year last year. We won a title, but here's the thing: the offense held the team together last year. And this year's offense, yeah, it's looking great and maybe better than at least I expected, but it's still young. And I don't know if I full on trust it to be the glue of this team. So our defense has got to step up. The defense route, it has to get better. Any other games intrigue you this weekend, Jeff?
Yeah, what was I looking at? I was looking at the slate earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking earlier today, oh God, this is just going to be a hideous week. There's no really interesting games, but actually there are. There's Northwestern or there's Notre Dame and Wisconsin playing at Soldier Field. There's oh God, let's see, A&M and Arkansas.
Yeah.
There's several good games. Now there's some real stinkers, but there's several good games. What we're going to have is we get through this week, and then we're going to get to the first 2 weeks of October, week 5 and week 6,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's head's going to explode because you're not going to know what game to watch. I mean, there's going to be just one great game after another. And isn't this delicious? Isn't this? Listen to us spoiled little bitches.
Right.
Us little spoiled little Alabama fans. Listen to us bitch because we went into number 11 and we didn't play well and we still won. And we've only won 6 of the last 12 national championships, and listen to us complaining. You got Clemson.
You know what
You got Clemson, who everybody thinks is a top 4 team, who after 3 weeks is number 120 in the nation in yards per play.
Yeah.
You got Ohio State, who looks vulnerable. Oklahoma, who looks vulnerable. Oregon, are they for real? Fresno State, hot take from J-Dub on the Ballard Show. Told you Fresno State was going to win, and they did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Although I did get the Indiana-Cincinnati game wrong because Indiana twice goes inside the 10 and comes away with no points.
Right.
But isn't it great? Every week you get 3 or 4 upsets. You get people panicking, people overreacting, people thinking their team's too great, people thinking their team sucks. I want the coach fired. I want to date the cheerleader. How come I ran out of charcoal? Hey, it's college football. Hooray. Thank God we're back in it. I like the panic. I like the excitement. I like the emotion. I like the up and the down, and that's what makes it. That's why this is the greatest sport there is.
Yeah. It is.
Although the Sunday night football game was really good tonight between the Ravens and the Chiefs.
Oh, I missed it. Who won that one?
Ravens won it at the very end, 35-36.
Ooh. They kick a field goal?
Well, they went ahead 36-35 because they'd missed an extra point earlier, so they had to go for 2.
Oh,
and they didn't get it. So the Chiefs get the ball back, and here comes Mahomes. 2 minutes left. Here comes Mahomes taking the Chiefs right down the field. And Edwards-Helaire, LSU, whoopsie daisy, fumbles the ball away.
Oh, my God.
Ravens recover. Chiefs got 3 timeouts. So first down, timeout. Second down, timeout. Third down, timeout. 4th and 1 on their own, 42 with 55 seconds left. And the Ravens go for it. Rather than punt the ball to Mahomes and give Mahomes the ball with 50 seconds left. They decide on their own side of the 50 to go for it on 4th and a yard and a half, and they make it.
Wow.
And they make it. So then all they got to do after that is just take one knee, and the game's over. So the Ravens prevail. They go to 1-1, and the Chiefs fall to 1-1.
Yeah. Crazy.
And let's see, I don't know if you saw it or not, but the pineapple got juiced today.
No, I saw him. He got hurt. I just don't remember what the injury was exactly.
To his ribs. They're doing extra. They're doing more tomorrow. They're looking at it more tomorrow. I saw the hit he took. Now you can say he's fragile, but he got rocked.
That was a hit.
Yeah. Anybody would have buckled under that.
Yeah, that was like the weird hip injury a few years ago, honestly. But I'm sure Tua's going to be out for a couple weeks for the Dolphins, and I don't even know exactly who's their backup because they got rid of Fitzpatrick. Waddle's been playing, I think, though. He's been doing okay.
Well, he was very quiet today. Devontae was quiet. Hurts was quiet. Mac Jones played pretty well. Damian Harris played pretty well. Harris had a touchdown for the Steelers. Ruggs had a touchdown on a bomb. Josh Jacobs was out. He's out hurt.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dolphins fans. Y'all got to put up with Jacoby Brissett with Tua out. Well-known name in recent years was with the Colts. I didn't even realize they picked him up this offseason. Hopefully, I mean, that, when you get a rib injury, I'm not a doctor or nothing, but I mean, I know sometimes it could be like a bruised rib or something and nothing too serious. I mean, I would hope it's nothing but that for Tua.
The problem with the ribs is the only thing that solves that is time.
Right.
You can't take a pill. You can't do an exercise either. I mean, it just takes time. It just takes time for that to go away.
Right. It does. And Tua, you got to give him props. I know he took some injuries and stuff at Alabama. He's in year 2, week 2 of the regular season in his career. And he's lasted pretty long for someone that people say is injury prone. I mean, but here, this is a hit that he took too. It was pretty tough. I mean, credit to the Bills defense, but man, prayers for Tua, man. Just hoping he can heal up a bit. Oh God, look at that.
I mean, he got jacked.
Yeah, he did. What's up, Nate?
What's up?
What you up to?
Can't go sleep.
Oh, you're smiling because Ohio State's terrible?
Yes.
I got you. I got you, man.
Man, if it's not Ohio State this year, who is?
I don't know.
Maybe Penn State. I don't know.
Penn State's winning the East. Cap. They got to go to Columbus and play the Buckeyes, but I'm telling you, man, the Buckeyes are not that good.
For this year, maybe, yes.
CJ Stroud's already got 3 picks in 2 weeks. Or 3 games.
Although he has some touchdowns and I don't know how many yards, but it's pretty high.
Yeah.
But he's decent. He's not in Fields. He's not what's the other guy's name? JT Barrett or whatever. Haskins, yeah. None of those. But that's what they got though. I want to see some more Jaden McCarthy, true freshman quarterback from Michigan.
Yeah. Oh, and another problem too, though, with Ohio State, their defense. Again, 3 games have been played. on average, they're allowing 28 points a game.
Yeah.
And it's not quality competition outside of Oregon. Let's just be
No.
honest.
To be
They-
honest, yeah, you should look up the defensive rankings out of 100 is it 120 teams? Yeah, I
30.
think so. Yeah, 130. You should
Yeah.
try look at that up, and I think Ohio State's like 60 or something like that, which is horrible. Last time I checked, it's probably like 64. Jesus. Yeah, this is coming from a Michigan fan. I kind of feel bad for Ohio State.
Yeah.
That's weird. I kind of feel bad. Jesus. I mean, I don't want to be good, but I want to be competitive. That's all.
Yeah.
So far, who do you think is going to go into playoff if it happened right now?
For college
For-
football, you're talking about it like if the playoffs were today,
Yeah.
based on the rankings or who I think.
By scenario and rankings. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's double check here.
Jeff, you can figure out this too if you want.
Come on, share screen. So, if it ended today, you have Bama, Georgia, Oregon, and Oklahoma in the Final Four. I think Penn
Right.
State can win the Big Ten. I think these
Right.
two teams right here, Iowa, Penn State, that is your Big Ten championship.
Yep.
One of those teams is going to win. Now, here's the thing. I slow my roll. It's close, but man, I'm sold on that Iowa defense. That defensive front is amazing.
They are legit.
Yeah. That's tough, but I think one of those teams gets in as the Big Ten title champion. I think, man, Georgia and Alabama play each other. Do you put the loser in if it's an undefeated matchup? I guess it has to be really close because there's a lot. There's a lot left in this season.
Yeah,
but we're in a scenario like look at A&M. Well, forget that. We're like they're gonna put the conference champs in. They're not gonna put A&M in. They're not gonna put Cincinnati in. They're not gonna put Clemson. Could go on win the ACC. I still look at this Oregon, this Oklahoma, this Iowa / Penn State, and then you look at Bama and Georgia. I just named you SEC, Pac-12, Big 12, and Big 10. The ACC is the lone conference out.
Yeah.
So you're welcome, college football world. What's up, Huffer Billy? Didn't see you in here. Sorry about your Tigers.
Sam and Pete, said Chiefs got killed.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I didn't see the whole game. I saw the first half. That's it. I haven't watched any NFL lately because I'm more of a college football guy. But I respect NFL. I'm more a college football guy. So, yeah. So if Penn State is the first one for the East, the second maybe Michigan. Maybe if they keep this momentum up. And third, Ohio State maybe. Top three. That's my top three. For the Big Ten East, Big Ten West, Iowa, Wisconsin. Iowa.
Yeah.
That's about it. Seven possibility.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey, so Ballard,
Yeah.
how in the hell did Alabama let that stuff happen?
I don't. We're not talking about that. We're not, I don't know what the hell. That they just met their match and they finally played an offense worth something.
No, I predicted it, man. I did, and people don't. I mean, I did it on multiple channels. So I said, Alabama will be in for a fight. Now I knew you'd win.
Yeah.
And actually, I thought that for a minute there you might not.
I was
But
clenching my butt cheeks.
I knew Florida was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was clenching my butt cheeks, dude. I don't know. I was sitting there and I'm just shaking and I'm like,
too.
oh my God.
So
I
slow.
was clinching mine with Georgia Tech, for God's sake.
I got you, bro.
Georgia Tech!
Dude, you already lost to Georgia. You struggle against what's happening with Clemson, man? What do you see?
Don't even get me that damn.
I apologize.
No, I'll tell you, man. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
And Clemson's got to get they got to get control of the situation.
Mhm.
They Uyunglele was given so many promises, and he was almost put on a pedestal, right? And now we got
with hype. You talking about with hype?
Yeah.
I got you.
And they don't know how to back down off of it. And now the coaches are in there blowing sunshine on stuff that is crap, and they need to quit because it's killing their credibility.
It
really
is.
Right.
And it makes me mad, and so I'm calling them out on it everywhere I can, and I know that the Clemson fans are saying you're not just like what they do with Lou. You're not a real Clemson fan. I'm like, no, I'm actually a real Clemson fan. I'm calling you out.
That's okay. That's okay. According to some Miami fans, I'm really a Georgia fan in disguise.
Yeah. What's up, Slim? You doing good?
Slim, you're as honest as rain. But it's frustrating to me, and I don't get why people don't see it. But they really are being naive about it or trying to brush under the covers. But Clemson's in trouble, man. On the offensive side, they're in trouble. Big. Infrastructurally, not just in this year, infrastructurally for a decade. I mean, their whole program can't be. So.
I'd like to take this opportunity to ask Slim Shady if he would do a personal favor for me.
Maybe.
Are you in or going to be in the city of Baton Rouge?
I'm going to be very, very close to it. I'm actually the way I'm going to go. I have to because my job involves me traveling all over the place.
Oh, I was just going to ask if you would, if you would do what I would want to do, and that is make sure that I was standing on what I knew was university property and take a public dump.
I've heard some Miami fans say that Manny needs to replace with Ed Orgeron, and to give Ed Orgeron my thoughts on that, I was going to go take a dump on the front porch there.
Oh, okay.
Well, J-Dub, can you just send it through the mail and let him lay it down there?
What's that?
Can you just send it through the mail and let him just lay it down?
Yeah. Special care package. Yeah.
Exactly.
I can't go sleep, so I can talk to you guys.
Later, man. Nate, you're looking tired, man.
But I can't go sleep. I mean,
actually, you bring it up. The way I have to go, I'm going to go into Baton Rouge and then back out of it on I-10 to get where I'm going.
Yeah, I should probably go to bed because I have school tomorrow.
Yes, Nate, you need to go to bed. That would be the responsible adult.
Yeah.
That'd be the right thing to do.
Yeah, I just want to hang out for a little. That's all.
Just put it on mute and sleep. Hey, so Ballard, and I get it that Bama won, right? But at the same time, what do you think about this Ole Miss situation?
Ballard.
He's asleep. Ballard fell asleep. Did you fall asleep, Mr. Ballard?
Well, he might have went to the bathroom. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh yeah, he could have. I mean, hell, that's good. Thank God.
Yeah, but falling asleep on your own stream, that's a chest stunt.
No, I wouldn't want him to go. I wouldn't want him to pee on his own damn keyboard or anything. He should go to the bathroom. That's a good thing.
Well, you know what they say, Mr. Webster. Those of us that live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Well, I've been known to zonk out, but I've never done so while I was hosting a stream.
No, you didn't. I'll give you that. But you have entertained us with your tune of sawing logs on a stream or two.
Oh hell, I don't saw logs. I have a landslide. Sounds like a mountain falling down.
Hey, while we're waiting on Ballard to get back, what do y'all think about this Gabby situation? The lady who's disappeared and they're now found remains and they don't know if it's her. What are y'all thinking about that? It has nothing to do with sports, but just trying to figure out what the hell. What do y'all think?
I haven't honestly kept up with the story, but I'm gonna be honest. My personal opinion on it is, okay, it's another one. I mean, there's 10 people go missing, probably every day in this country, and why not?
Yeah. Well, when I was watching it last week, and I followed it all the way to today. Every now and then, I'll just search for it and look at the update. And they found a body in the Tetons, Grand Tetons. Actually, I was there a year ago. It was great. It was a great place, fun to visit. But I was just watching it, and I was thinking, my God, this guy can't have really done that. I really hope not. But you never know.
I hate it. I hate it for her. I've seen the pictures and I've caught a couple of snippets of news stories. I mean, it's terrible, but
it's horrible. Yeah.
There's 100 horrible things that happen every day in this country.
I don't disagree. Hey, Ballard, you back?
Yeah, man, I'm back. I don't know what all I missed.
Oh, well, you must have been in the bathroom. So, I was asking you.
Yeah.
Given the Bama exposure that was done by Florida yesterday. How do you feel about the Ole Miss game?
I mean, even regardless of it, I thought going into the season it was going to be a big shootout. Just because I really like Snoop Connor, the running back, Matt Corral, and I think they got a pretty good O-line. And I mean, it's one of the better. And I know that they're not ranked. Well, no, I think actually they moved into the.
They are now.
Yeah. Overall, man, I mean, that's a shootout in and of itself, especially considering. Forget about Bama's defense. Ole Miss doesn't have one. I don't think they ever.
Actually, it's better than you. Hey, it's 100% better than last year.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I watched against Tulane yesterday. Yes, their defense is much.
It's real. It ain't no joke.
Yeah, I'm worried.
No, they look good.
I'll tell you what's going to be.
Yeah.
How about Arkansas right now? 3-0.
No,
Now
they
they've
look
only
good,
beat.
too.
Look, they beat Rice, they beat Texas, and they beat Georgia State. They got some good defense, and it looks good on paper. But their first test, I'm gonna have to give it to this Aggie home game they got coming up this week.
No, they're gonna get their ass handed to them with the Aggie game.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real.
That's why I'm saying that's their
unless
first
the
test. I think they're
Aggies'
getting beat.
offense Yeah, unless the Aggies' offense sucks, and that's
Right.
because of the quarterback situation, right?
But
But
Big Dog Brett was on that, or not Brett. Trent was on that earlier with his board, and he's riding high on Arkansas. But I mean, I'm sorry, and this isn't a knock on Texas, but it's the first year under a new head coach. It
Right.
doesn't surprise me that Arkansas can speak up and protect Texas. And Sam Pittman's doing great with what Arkansas has been and what they have to work with, but and give him time, and I think Arkansas is going to be good. But right now, no.
it's a little overhyped. It's a little overhyped.
Yeah.
What's up, fellas?
But like I said, I
Hey, what's
think
up, man?
Sam Pittman's doing good things. I think in the future he can have Arkansas playing good.
Yeah, I do think he's on the right track. Just like most of these teams who are coming up, they're on the right track. Arkansas being one of them, Ole Miss being another. They're on the right track. They're good. You know?
Now, I know you're crying into your beer right now over Clemson, but let's be honest. You're not in my boat, sir. All right? I got a fan base of people screaming for Ed Reed for a fucking head coach.
Listen, man.
Ed Reed.
Yeah. Well, Ed Reed, the homeless man. Yeah, I don't know. I ain't gonna do that. But I will tell you, Slim, I feel bad. I really do think about it from a perspective. If I was a Miami fan, if I was a Florida State fan, I really do think about it that way a lot of times. And it's painful, man. And I feel bad for Clemson fans. Right now, we got people. I mean, you got some delusional damn fans. They just want to say, "Oh yeah, everything's fine." No, it isn't. It isn't fine. It ain't even close.
Yeah.
I mean, damn. I mean,
The Texas A&M Arkansas game. So this is at least top 20 matchup for right now. 3-0 teams go head to head. It's a 3:30 game this week. The spread, let me share this with you, is 5.5. 5.5 A&M. Who you taking?
Arkansas.
A&M runaway.
I'm A&M all the way, man. There's no way Arkansas can beat A&M. If they do, then I'm gonna.
But is the spread covered though? That's the thing. Is it covered?
Yes, by a lot.
It's covered by
Okay.
many.
I got you.
Yeah.
That's what I was
No doubt.
asking, because I can understand you guys saying A&M's got this one in the bag.
I know
I mean,
more
they're
about
gonna cover-
I
they're
know
gonna
more
cover.
about Arkansas's quarterback than I do about A&M's.
Yeah. No. And if Arkansas does do this, if they pull this, I swear to God, if they pull this win off, I'll be the quickest switcher you'll ever see. I mean, that'll be amazing.
Woo, it's Suey.
Exactly.
Listen, I have questions about A&M. I mean, obviously their starting quarterback going down
Yeah.
heard some, and it completely changes the dynamic.
Have they been? Who is it? Is it Haynes King that they've been working with? I haven't seen much of them this year, so
No, that's the kid that went out.
No,
That's the
Haynes
kid.
King gone. Yeah.
that was the guy that they had start before.
Yes.
Was his 5-star
Yes.
recruit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what I was asking.
The backup's
What's
really
that clicking
good.
noise?
He's not horrible,
Yeah,
but it's you know how it goes. It's why he's a
Yeah.
backup, and but I do believe that A&M's is too much. They're gonna be too much for Arkansas. Their defense they're gonna stone them. They're gonna stone them. They will.
Well, here's
what?
the thing, though. Yes, it looks good, and Dude, they've only allowed 5.7 points a game. A&M, it's great. But I mean, look, seriously, they play New Mexico, they play Colorado, they play Kent State this year. Do you really want to compare those teams to maybe what Arkansas has offensively? Like, are we really going to compare all that?
Okay,
Like,
but
you got to think about strength of schedule so far.
But outside of Texas, and we've already seen once again this week. I mean,
No,
Texas,
I get what you're saying.
overrated.
Arkansas hasn't played anybody either. That's fair. Like, both of these teams haven't really played anybody worth a damn.
Well, Arkansas played Texas. I mean, come on. Texas
There's that, but that's it. That's all there is.
Well, that's pretty good, though. I mean, as much as I want to shit on Texas ain't no damn chopped liver.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, most games do end up coming down, and there are obvious exceptions to this. And before anybody says it, yes, Miami's immensely more talented than Michigan State, but 9 times out of 10, a vastly more talented team is going to beat vastly under-talented team.
Yeah.
And A&M is light years ahead of Arkansas.
Yeah, they're way on the recruiting scale. Just look at the talent, and Jimbo's not a dumb coach. Okay, I mean, let's just be honest here.
No.
If Texas A&M doesn't beat Arkansas, then give Arkansas. I swear to God, I'm going to jump the ship. I'm going to go over to Arkansas side for the rest of the year. I'm going to be all on them.
Be like, hey, don't blow this. Don't blow this. You're on a mission. You're on a mission.
And listen, Arkansas beating Texas, yes, it's an upset. No other way to slice it. How many teams pull off multiple big-time upsets like that in a year? Not many.
Not many. No.
There's teams
they're
that,
looking good.
Yeah. I mean, for all we know, Arkansas could be one of those teams that just says, we're just going to have this one game that we can go home and celebrate, and then we'll crap the bed the rest of the year. For all we know. I don't know. I'm
not even saying they're going to crap the bed.
Right.
But let's not forget, everybody thought it was a minor miracle last year that Arkansas pulled off 3 wins.
An all SEC schedule, by the way.
Yep.
That doesn't mean a whole lot. There's a half dozen terrible teams in the SEC. Miami could still run through.
Well, Vanderbilt just beat UCLA. Or no,
Vandy.
Stanford.
Vandy was winless.
Yeah, Vandy just beat Stanford. So.
Yeah, well, that was in a spelling bee, sir. That was not football.
I think they did just beat Stanford in football.
No, Stanford won that one.
No. What was the game this weekend?
Stanford.
Between who?
It was Stanford and Vandy this past weekend. I watched about 5 plays of that spelling bee before I clicked over to another game.
Yeah, that was Academic Bowl 1, and Academic Bowl 2 was Duke and Northwestern.
That was bad.
Duke won that one.
Well, how about that? UCLA is a bunch of frauds. How about Fresno State 40-37?
You know what? I'm calling BS on that because Fresno State gave Oregon all they wanted, and they topped UCLA. Fresno State's a legit team.
They're ranked 22. UCLA dropped 11 spots. Both teams are pretty good. I'll give you that. I do agree, but I still think that for UCLA to be a Pac-12 team, at least being Power 5, it's like, don't you think you have to win that game? I get Fresno State being good, but I mean, come on.
That's no different than Auburn losing to UCF. I mean,
that's fair.
And like I said, it doesn't mean UCLA's garbage, but UCLA's on the come up. I mean, it was to find when
they weren't going to run it undefeated. Someone was going to get them, and I feel like you said,
but not necessarily. UCLA, people forget in 98, UCLA was like 1 game from being in the national title.
That's true.
So,
and Fresno did that on the road at Oregon and UCLA. You know, playing Oregon tough on the road.
Probably
Yeah.
do 'em. Now, I'm not jumping on the Oregon bandwagon either. I mean, one
Right.
win over Ohio State doesn't take away three what honestly should be looked at as underwhelming season for football at Oregon.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Tennessee though, 56-0. That's a good. There you go. Tennessee's back.
Let me just go ahead and sum this up. We have seen practically every Power 5 team only play 3 games. We're only maybe a fourth of the way through this season. You know, think about 12 games. Okay, so we still are trying to figure out who's in this playoff this year.
It's a
there's a
weird
lot
year.
left. There's a
It's
lot left.
weird year.
It is. It's awesome though. Like as a college football fan, you love to see this different variety with these teams up and coming, rising in the top. Like it's been a few years since I've seen UCLA even touch the top 25. And now here they are.
I said before the season, I said, what do I got to do to get another 2007? That was a fun year.
That's what we're getting. That's what I'm seeing, man. I mean, you got Penn State at 6. Iowa's at number 5 outside the top 4. Oklahoma, Oregon. You have Arkansas is a top 20. I mean, this is insane. A few years ago, Arkansas was looking dead.
Arkansas,
not 2 years ago.
Arkansas for 2 years didn't win an SEC game.
Right. And now they're in the top 16. It's insane, but it's awesome.
So here's the thing. So
Yeah.
for all these great, I call them upsets or less than ideal performances. So think about Ohio State. Think even Oklahoma, Clemson. Clemson hasn't performed well at all. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I can't even imagine how they make it to the playoffs. But with all these great upsets and differences, how many teams do we have really? Think about it. Even Oklahoma. Oklahoma looks weak. They look weak. Seriously.
This is the year where you do not have a team that just stands above the rest and looks unbeatable.
Cincinnati, okay. I'm just going to say it. Cincinnati looks strong. And they're going to play Notre Dame here in a minute. They're going to play Notre Dame here in a minute. And
the problem with Cincinnati is, 2 games in a row tried to just phone them in, and it almost cost them.
Yeah, but
the final score doesn't reflect it, but both those
but they're playing good. I mean, in the end, you look at the whole body of work. They do well. They don't just.
I don't know if I want to touch this game here. I'm making a pick. Again, this game's at Fayetteville. I'm doing a pick 'em for the college games this week.
Oh, the Arkansas.
Oh God, this is hard.
I thought that was in Dallas.
No, it's in Fayetteville. I know who I'm picking here. I'm taking Nate's Wolverines.
Is this the biggest hype Arkansas got around them since Darren McFadden was there?
Oh, it's got to be. Yeah, it's probably not even close, dude. My gut tells me to take Arkansas. I might regret that, but I'm gonna take them.
Who are they playing? A&M?
Yeah, and it's in Fayetteville.
Well, the fact it's in Fayetteville helps, but damn, I don't know, man. I'd run from that one. I wouldn't even take any. If you had real money on it, I'm not sure I'd take it.
Kansas State's right there at 25. They're going to drop. Give me Oklahoma State at home here. It's tough, though. Well,
Mm.
let's
I-
just be honest about the bottom 20 through 25.
They
That just
suck.
gives us extra teams to talk about.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't
But
know about that.
Oklahoma. Let's look at this Oklahoma game. Come on now.
I'm gonna stick to Oklahoma State there. Oklahoma State or Oklahoma, West Virginia.
Yeah.
That's a given. Yeah, give me that. Oregon State, USC.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and argue with you on the Oklahoma game. I think West
Okay.
Virginia wins that game. You know why?
Uh-oh.
Because Oklahoma ain't that good.
They're gonna
But
get
guess what?
exposed.
Guess what? Neither is West Virginia.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
just
matter.
suck on that.
West Virginia needs it better than Oklahoma because Oklahoma doesn't.
Wait for it.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I mean, West Virginia almost let Virginia Tech come back on them and beat them.
USC, Oregon State. Now, before I pick this one, hold on.
Wait for it.
Is this one even a question? Give me USC. I mean,
Yes, Southern Cal,
you have
but
to.
they
10
don't
out
have
of
a coach anymore, though. Remember, they don't have a coach.
Oh, here's a tiebreaker. How many total points combined score Oklahoma, West Virginia? Oh, this will be big.
75.
I'll go 75. We'll see. I'll submit these.
Hey Ballard, that Aggie Arkansas game is at it's at the Cowboy Stadium. I
The
don't know
what?
if that'll affect your pick or not.
The Aggie. Oh, for
A&M,
A&M.
Arkansas, it's in Jerry World.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten any. I haven't really been picking, at least for these. I've been doing pick'ems for like NFL, but I'm gonna get some points this weekend. I guarantee you that.
Ballard, what he's saying is Texas A&M Arkansas game is in Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Not
It's neutral. It's
Yeah.
not in Fayetteville. Hold on.
I would give Texas A&M more of a home field advantage.
In Texas Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Dang. I wish I would have known. Well, I mean,
Hey, Ballard.
hey,
Ballard.
it's neutral field though. What's
Yeah.
up?
Hey, Ballard. Here's the fun
Yeah.
part. The fact that you didn't know tells us that you don't pay that close attention.
Yep.
That's okay.
I missed that they set this game up on neutral field. That's all I missed.
That's okay, Ballard. Miami fans don't pay attention either. I've heard the reason we lost was the quarterback that threw the ball 400 yards.
No, the reason you lost, Slim, is because you don't have a stadium on campus.
That has a whole.
You have to rent out to Tua. You got to pay Tua.
Yeah, well, here and I've heard that about. Does nobody realize Miami doesn't pay anything to play there? Same way the Dolphins didn't pay to.
But
The Dolphins didn't pay anything to us to play in our stadium.
Slim, you know it's a difference when it's on campus. That's all. It's just a different atmosphere, you know. And
No, it's see, I'm gonna call BS on that because Miami played in the Orange Bowl from the 30s forward. So no, I don't buy it.
How
Did
close
y'all
is that
see-
stadium? Well, hang on. Well, how
Yeah.
close is that stadium to your campus?
About 20, 25 minutes, give traffic.
So let me tell you, when Clemson students, and I'm sure this happens at Alabama too, I'm sure it happens at Auburn, I'm sure it happens at Georgia. They come, the students come in, and not just students, but the athletes see it too. But the students are there. They come in, and the stadium looms over one corner or one side of the campus. And it's sitting there in plain sight. And everybody knows this is a real football school, right? It's a real school. It's a real football school. That's a big deal, man. Not only for recruits, but for the whole school to get involved.
Yeah.
I don't know why they wouldn't do that at Miami. I really don't.
Number one, your argument would work a whole lot better if Miami's never accomplished anything. But the fact that for a 30-year span they were the most dominant team in college football kind of disproves that whole argument. And then as far as why they don't, I don't know how many people here have ever been to Coral Gables, Florida. You're not allowed to cut your grass on Sunday. So I don't know what makes them think they're going to allow them to put a damn football stadium in Coral Gables.
Well, I just saying. I mean, I just think I think it's an atmosphere issue for people.
See, I don't.
Not back then. I think it is now. I think it's changed.
Well, because see, here's the thing: they didn't sell out games when they were good on the Flats run. In the early 2000s, they didn't sell out every game then. As much as people don't want to hear it, it rings true with two schools, Miami and USC. There ain't shit else to do in Athens, Georgia, or Tuscaloosa, Alabama. There's a million and one other things to do in Los Angeles, California, or Miami, Florida.
That's kind of like LA is a sports town, it's a pro sports town. Miami is more of a pro sports town. I live in Texas, and Texas is a pro sports state. You know, college football is secondary in Texas. I mean, of course there's a lot of Aggie fans,
right.
UT fans, but I mean, it's all NFL football, NBA, and baseball here.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with that to a point, but nobody's going to Heat games when they're terrible. Nobody's going to Dolphin games when they're terrible. And let the Rams get terrible. Nobody will be going to those games.
For sure.
They're fixing to get terrible. How much longer?
Yeah, you got to be good and generate publicity that you're good, and then everybody will come, whether it's college or pro. You know, it doesn't matter. So I get it, but that's I get a little, you know, sentimental about college campuses being the place where college games are played. That's all. You know,
like I said, I would, and I actually think you're right to a certain extent. I think Miami did lose something when they tore the Orange Bowl down, and I think my argument would be a whole lot stronger if the Orange Bowl is still standing, because that stadium had a mystique. I mean, I've literally been in that stadium. When they say the place gets to rocking, that damn place was rocking for real.
Yeah. I do remember those days. I really do. But it's a tough thing for a school to go through. But at the same time, I get you, Slim. I mean, if you don't win, if you're not if you don't create the buzz as a winning team, people are not going to come. Period.
Yeah, but
Miami ain't gonna get nothing either if they don't win.
And Miami's also proven it though that even when they're on top, winning national championships, they still don't sell out every game. They just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, they did, back in the 80s and even in the 90s. But once it hit the 2000s, that's when that changed.
Yeah.
Well, do you think that hurts, like, on recruiting, like when they go to a Miami game and it's not sold out, and then they go to Alabama or LSU or Clemson or Georgia game and it's, standing room only? And
no, not really. I really, because I mean, if that were the case, they wouldn't have continued to recruit the way they did on into the early 2000s.
Yeah. What's that?
Sounds like somebody's got a blender going.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said it sounded like somebody had a blender going in the background.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was watching a video.
So Huff, the Clemson fans calling for DJ to be benched. What do you
They
think
don't
about
have
those
any
guys?
backup quarterbacks, do they? Not this year, at least. I know y'all got a recruit coming up, the same class as Ty Simpson next year with like this. Who is it? Cole Klubnik or whatever.
Well, Clemson fans calling for DJ is about as dumb as Miami fans calling for De'Aaron King. It doesn't matter who you put behind those bad offensive lines; they're not going to look good.
Yeah.
Let me explain this to you guys, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to be as honest as I can be here. Clemson is DJ is only a tenth the problem.
Okay.
I agree.
Problem. There's a big issue going on. And Dabo's trying to control it now. He came out tonight and he tried to quell the natives, but there's a huge change coming. They're people are calling for, hey, if he can't fire some people, if Dabo's not going to get rid of some people on the offensive side of the ball, and not players, the players are downstream. DJ's a problem, but let me just go here first. The coaches are going to have to get fired. They're going to have to get fired. And and if they don't, then Dabo has to be under the gun. It's coming, and that's where we are. So it ain't no damn easy. Now he's got billions of dollars. You know, he's made money, whatever, and he can go wherever he wants to go, and that's fine. But Clemson ain't going to sit here and take this year. They're going to fire somebody, and they're going to be big people.
Well, who is it that's got to go? Billy?
Tony Elliott.
Yeah. Right out of the gate, he got his head.
He's gone. And if he don't want to go, he has to be fired. He can go on his own. Doesn't matter to me. But
do you think? Let me ask you something. So, you have the season 15-0. You go blow us out. Thanks a lot. With Trevor Lawrence, what was the reason for it? And I'm not trying to throw shade at Trevor Lawrence or nothing, but what was the downfall that happened with him that just seemed like it regressed a little? Was that
Jeff Scott left after that year and went to South Florida. Jeff Scott was a co-offensive coordinator.
Okay.
And he's gone. And it went downhill from there.
You know what? And this is coming from an outside perspective, and I've heard a lot of people say almost verbatim what I said, and I don't buy it at all because they turned around and made the national title game the very next year and continued on into the playoffs. I mean, walked right in the year after that. I mean, sometimes, and I'm bringing this up all the time, it takes a lot of luck to win a national title.
Slim,
it does.
Slim, you have momentum and you have talent that has been recruited from people who aren't there anymore, but they're still moving forward. Everything moves forward, and you get the benefit of that. But it slows down because you're not moving it forward anymore. That's what's happened.
Yeah.
So we were moving forward into 2018, and we won that, and we moved it. But we didn't. Trevor Lawrence should have won another national championship.
Oh, for sure. If y'all had done whatever, I guess. I don't know.
It's coaching. Seriously, to God, it was coaching, and we didn't fuck it up once. We fucked it up twice.
Yeah, that's fair.
See, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. Like I said, you cruise right into the national title game the very next year.
No,
Now, okay,
here's the thing. We didn't have any freaking creativity. We had zero. Man, you look at that game. And the defense did all it could do, but we could not on offense do a damn thing. 2019. We really couldn't. In 2020, it was even worse. The offense looked anemic. We didn't have an offensive line. We didn't have shit. I mean, come on. Yeah. It all came down to when, and not to say that he was a perfect guy. I'm not going to go and make Jeff Scott out to be God, because he ain't. If he was in South Florida, he'd be doing great, you know. But he added something to the ingredients in that offense that made Clemson great. Not that he's perfect, not by himself, no, but he did.
Well, you know, I think I see the point you're trying to make, and I'll do a comparison. I could compare it to, you know, the slower decline of Miami once Larry Coker became the head coach.
Yeah.
They kept the majority of the staff intact. Obviously, he was the offensive coordinator, became head coach. They brought in Rod Chizinski, and Greg Schiano left. He was the D coordinator, and Randy Shannon became the defensive coordinator.
Right.
A lot of people's complaint about Rod Chizinski was his offense worked for Ken Dorsey and all that talent around him, but it didn't work once Brock Berlin got there and the offensive line wasn't as good.
Exactly. Yes.
Next.
You got
and then it really didn't work after Brock Berlin left, and you had what was his name? Shit, Kyle Wright was the quarterback.
But this is the same concept that's going on here, and no, football's one thing. I liken it to civilizations or country, or what do you call them? When there's a dominant, like when Rome was in charge, and then Greece was in charge, and Rome was in charge. Yeah, empires. It's the same thing going on here. The tectonic plates are shifting, and Dabo has lost it, and that's because he's too loyal, and he's putting too much faith in some people, and he's trying to hire all these freaking ex-players who have never coached, and I'm just, you know, it's sad actually, and it makes me mad.
Might be king of wanting to do that. I mean, thank God they haven't actually done it yet. But my God, all I keep hearing is hire Mike Irvin, hire Ray Lewis, hire Ed Reed. Why?
Jesus Christ!
Fire Grantham.
I have never heard more brain dead talk about hire. I mean, okay, if you want to say hire Lamar Thomas, okay, he's proven himself at Louisville as a wide receivers coach, because he was a wide receivers coach under Petrino when Lamar Jackson was quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater was quarterback. Great, okay, hire him. But I mean, what on God's green earth makes you think Ray Lewis would be a good linebackers coach? He's never done it.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. I don't know why Dabo does this, man. He hires people who have never really coached. Now, Streeter's coached before. Streeter, the quarterback's coach. But I think they've overcoached. I think they've overcoached DJ, to be honest. I think they got him thinking too much. He's not natural anymore. But yeah. But the other guys, Grisham is the receivers coach, CJ Spiller's the running backs coach. They never coached a damn lick in their life.
Right.
And we have Tony Elliott, who went to Presbyterian for a year and got transferred into Clemson wasn't that great of a player, and now he's a freaking offensive coordinator. I mean, come on, man. I mean, let's be real. Clemson needs to be thinking ahead. They need to be thinking ahead.
Well, it's usually the players that aren't that great as players that turn out to be coaches.
Yeah, but he's just not got that much. He's too conservative. He's too freaking afraid.
Yeah.
He has no fearfulness. He's just be like, fuck it, and he doesn't do that. And yeah, so they're gonna have to do some big change. If they ever get serious, they're gonna get mad.
Oh my God.
Is Chess here?
Chess Hall's an idiot.
What do you mean?
Look at this.
What do you say?
Let's see if anyone is awake. I'm still going on YouTube here now. He wants to see if anyone's awake. Hey, buddy, we're over here.
Hello.
I mean, there's even a couple other names, that, I mean, if they want to throw out ex-players. I mean, Ken Dorsey's the passing game coordinator for Buffalo. He was the quarterback's coach for Cam Newton when they made that Super Bowl run. Yeah, okay. If you want to bring him in, I could see that. If you want to bring in Tolbert Bain was a corner at Miami back in the 80s. He's won 2 state titles as at high school level in Miami at Miami Central. Blade won a couple of state titles as a head coach in South Florida. I mean, if you would bring them up to the college ranks, I could understand that move.
Yeah. No, I get a little mad when people don't look at the football problem, right? But they don't, and our teams don't do that very well. I mean, we don't get serious about football. Miami hasn't, Clemson hasn't, Alabama has, but even with Florida, my God, I mean Florida, seriously, Alabama.
Well, and this is coming from. I tend to lump this in with conspiracy. This is coming from guys that are in South Florida. And I don't know how much credence I give this, but I can also understand it. And the thoughts coming from them is the administration, the board of trustees, the boosters at Miami. They want Miami to be good, yes. They don't want Miami to have the reputation that they had before. And
man.
They don't want that whole bad boys of college football thing. They don't want Catholic first conference.
Why not?
I don't know.
Oh man, I'd love Miami to be the bad boys. I'd love Miami to come in there and be, thug you. That's what they should become.
Well, and here's the thing. I think no matter what Miami did, they would have had that reputation because they went from the team getting absolutely obliterated by everybody to all of a sudden now they're kicking the bully's ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Miami needs to get on it. They make me mad. But at the same time, there's Alabama. They do it without all the, what do you call it, the negative connotations. But they're doing the same thing. You know that.
Well, and listen, I have my own thoughts, and one of them I put in that video that I put out. Listen, I think that's a legitimate. I think it may or may not be true, but I could see the plausibility of, okay, Nick Saban and Mark Emmert are old friends, and Mark Emmert keeping the NCAA off of Nick Saban's back.
But Nick Saban is friends with, he's been around football, NFL, college for 35 years. He knows just about everybody.
Well,
and a lot of these older coaches, they know everybody.
my point is, I mean, Nick Saban wasn't considered this guru when he was at LSU.
You mean after he won the national title there?
But that's still people forget because it was so long ago. That was a disputed national title because the AP in every single poll, including after the national championship game, had USC at number 1.
But yeah, I agree with you, Slim. It was. But the point being is, I think Nick's, it's almost like Darth Vader. Nick Saban was so damn damaged by that he won't ever forget it. He's a mean son of a bitch from here on.
I'm ready to go on in this singles competitor, and I think I'm ready.
Ballard.
All right, thank you.
My bad. Sorry.
Thank you. Good God.
Stop multitasking, Ballard.
You're running a show and you're watching videos on your phone. What the hell, Ballard?
I'm trying to laugh at WWE characters like this racist over here.
None of us
You
give a
know
shit
the
about
show. You can do that later when you don't have them.
Ballard, you have a live show about football going on YouTube right now.
By the way,
It's practically hangout now. I don't even.
you can jack off at any time after this.
Oh God. It's a free country, and I'm on my own time. Leave me alone, Paul.
No, you're not. You're in the stream. You're in a free country.
I'm just kidding. Ow. Chess is live interrupting my stream.
Don't,
bastard.
Hey, Ballard. You
Yeah.
got more people than he does.
That's fair.
Don't.
Let's see what he's up to though. Hold up.
Hmm?
I'm just gonna screw with him and just share his stream on here. I don't even care. Look what he titled this. Let's see if anyone is awake. Right above that, it recommends my own live stream for some reason, but see if anyone's awake. Ballard Sports Media is live.
Jesus Christ. Well, here's the thing, though. Seriously, Slim, you're right. You're 1,000% correct. Sometimes these teams, I mean, oh my God, they make me so mad. They worry about things they don't need to worry about. They need to worry about winning. Forget all the other nonsense. Just win the damn game. But they don't do that, and they get all up in their own heads and make shit hard.
Well, I mean, Miami's problem right now, and I feel like I've said this till I'm blue in the face, and it's starting to get aggravating because I'm repeating myself. But I can see partial arguments where they say coaching is the problem, but you can't coach effort. You can't coach want to. You can't coach trying. And I'm seeing a whole lot of just half-ass effort.
Yeah. No, I watched that Miami game, and it not I'm a Miami fan, but I'm not. I mean, I'm not an anti-Miami fan. You know what I mean? I don't sit there and go, "Oh, I hate Miami." I have two teams I hate. They're very few. Two. Only have two. Miami ain't one of them. And I watched that game, and I was just like, what in the effing hell are y'all doing? I mean, really. I mean, it really is frustrating.
Okay, now answer me this. I've been told by a certain Miami YouTuber, that, and I'm not going to mention that big dummy's name.
Yeah.
You big
dummy. That if you watch the game and you say that there's a problem with the offensive line, that you don't know football.
That's wrong. There's a problem.
I might take a guess on who said it, but carry on.
I'm not saying that big dummy's name.
Don't mess with Brady, but I'm telling you, there's a problem with the offensive line.
So
the hell, if you look at Clemson, the same thing, right? You look at that nonsense. I mean, come on, guys. Be honest. Be intellectually honest. It sucks. I mean, you guys have to get your act together. God dang, it makes me so mad. I watch crappy football. Even Alabama on the defensive line against Florida looked like hell. Okay, let's be honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, and a lot of people won't listen to it because they're just like, "Oh, your team lost," and you're just trying to find fault with Alabama. But at the time, I said, like a lot of Nick Saban defenses, that secondary can be beat. I mean,
they could have done it.
3 drives in a row, Miami just marched right down the field and then got away from the pass completely. Which
why? Why did they do that?
I don't know. And their linebacker, great in run block and helping with run block, and great at trying to rush the passer and trying to get back from the backfield. But their linebackers are shit in coverage.
Yep.
Christian Harris.
Florida got them. Florida got them.
And that goes back to what I said Miami needed to do to win that game. Alabama defenses have always been susceptible to a dual threat quarterback.
Everybody's susceptible to a dual threat quarterback.
Bama is.
I disagree. Not everybody.
No, everybody's not. Some people leave a spy on that quarterback, whether it's an outside linebacker or a defensive end, and they're able to contain them.
Yeah.
Man, not everybody. But there are some teams who have designed themselves to be a certain way, and they get exposed.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt. Sorry, my voice is going out. Got COVID again.
Yeah. You have COVID, LW?
Yep. My son.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
You got the flu.
Yeah, my son brought it home from school last week. He's better, and I'm just on the tail end of it here. But
TB Tiger Baskins has it too, and he's struggling like hell. He got the second variant, and he's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, I was starting to feel better, and then my voice started going out today. But
sorry.
On the Alabama thing, Christian Barmore, the defensive tackle, they're definitely missing him from last year. And then Patrick Surtain was kind of there.
Oh my God!
That Patrick Surtain was their kind of shutdown corner. Now these two guys, Josh Jobe and I don't know if any of them are like a number one. I think that's
not really outside of Jobe, which he's hardly a for sure lock for a starter. I think
they will be. And
part of the reason I think Florida had success running is because Will Anderson's gone, and that other guy, I cannot remember his name.
Well, Will Anderson played yesterday. It's what's his face? Christopher Allen. He's out for the year.
Christopher Allen's out. That really
but not 2 weeks ago, Will Anderson was in a boot. So to think he's 100%, I don't think so.
He's not.
Well, Florida, I thought played pretty well. They're kind of more playing like the Nick Fitzgerald offense at Mississippi State when Mullen was there. You know, running up the middle, option to the side. It's really kind of hard to stop that kind of thing when your defensive line isn't strong. And I think that's more than the cornerbacks. I think that's I think Alabama's.
Oh yeah, Alabama's got some issues. Yeah.
I think their defensive line and the right side of their offensive line are their weakness.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
this is why Florida could run on them though.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, and when I say the secondary, Nick Saban's secondaries have always been kind of sketchy as long as he's been at Alabama.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. Let me ask you a question, LW.
Yeah.
How in hell Alabama recruit at the they're number one. Okay.
Right.
Here. How in the hell is that damn defensive line not able to stand up? I don't get it, man. And, I know it's a new year and everybody graduated and went to the pro. What? But they got studs everywhere. How does that not get?
Well, that's the thing people don't realize. Their defensive line, they kind of did a rotation like Georgia did last year. 5 of their 6, they kind of run a 3-front line a lot with Will Anderson coming down as a 4th guy sometime. But that 6-man rotation last year, 5 out of the 6 are actually back. But it just doesn't seem that there's not like a number one guy, like,
I know, but
like
doesn't it make you mad? I mean, LW, it
pisses me off.
Yeah, it pissed me off. It pisses me off when I see Clemson do this shit. I'm like, God dang, man, you've been here. Let's go.
You want to talk about guys being back? We returned 19 of 22 starters.
Right.
And this is the shit I get.
So sometimes it's just chemistry, and a lot of times people don't value team leadership like players. And Saban was talking about that in the Mercer game. Mac Jones was the person getting in everybody's grill on the offense. You had Dylan Moses last year and Patrick Surtain were kind of lead. And that could be the same thing with Travis gone and Trevor Lawrence gone and some players. Sometimes it takes a couple weeks to get some guys to be like, what the hell are we doing?
Well, I get you, but it does make me mad when I don't see players who are supposed to be driving this thing, right? They're supposed to be driving the bus, and people don't do their job. And they should walk up to them in the middle of the game and just tell them, "Get your effing ass in gear."
And let's be honest. There's not a running back on Alabama's roster that is as good as Najee Harris, and there's not a running back.
One.
And there's not a running back on Clemson as good as Travis.
No.
They might be in time, but right now they're not.
No, but you've got to tell the offensive line, when you miss an assignment and you do the Keystone Cops pulling guards running into each other in the middle of a freaking key play. I was the damn quarterback. I swear to God. Yeah.
And you know what? Y'all bring that up. I don't see that out of Miami either. I don't. And De'Aaron King has every right in the world to get in every offensive line as much as he gets slung around.
Because you're getting killed back here. You're getting killed because you guys are being stupid. I put my foot right up their ass. I mean, I don't know why you don't have no leadership. I really don't.
Now, here's where I do agree with the fan base that this is the coach's problem. The absolute worst one was Will Mallory. And I think he did this because he doesn't like blocking. He likes to get out there, run routes, catch passes.
Is that is that y'all's tight end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're keeping him back there to help block because they need all the fucking help they can get. And he basically just phoned in his block. And where I will agree with the fan base is if it's that obvious to me, it's even more obvious to the coaches. And the fact that they didn't put his ass on the pot for that is where I'm with the fan base. So that's all on the coach.
Yeah, coaching is. I agree with you, Slim. I get mad at the players because they don't step up. Like my man DJ should step up, and I don't believe in him now. I actually have lost all faith in him, to be perfectly honest. But the coaches need to tell people and to say to them that we're not going to put up with this. The coaches don't do their job. I'm just being honest. They just aren't doing their job.
Well, and I know what the problem is in Miami because I've heard it out of Manny over and over again. Manny's one of these new age guys. He's worried about the feelings of the players, the mental health of the players. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Well,
and I brought it up specifically Miami fans on TV show yesterday. None of them want to hear it. They all thought Danino was garbage. He wasn't about shit. They wanted him out of there. 2 out of 3 games so far this year, Dan Enos' offense has thrown up 50 points in Maryland.
Yeah, Dabo does the same shit, and it pisses me off. I mean, I like being a player's coach. Don't get me wrong, but damn, at some point, be a player's coach. Tell them they suck. I mean, at some point, the players need to understand you just ain't getting the shit done, and you suck. And that's all. Do you think Saban doesn't tell them that every day? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Billingsley, Alabama's tight end, who, played all last year in the playoffs. Nice little combo tight end receiver.
Yeah.
And he lost his job because of lack of leadership and what he was doing off the field. So, I mean, he went from first string to third string.
That's a huge drop, too.
And
especially for a guy like him, he was great.
Now, also a difference between Nick Saban promoting his second and third string. We saw Miami's second string tight end. He couldn't block worth the shit either, and he couldn't worth the shit either.
Right.
So he's looking at putting a third string guy in. Well, you're going to kill him when the third string guy comes in and plays like
Listen, Slim, I will say this. And if I was a third or fifth or 12th strings guy, and they put me in, and you know this, you know how this works. When you get an opportunity, and nobody gave you a chance in hell, you're gonna be motivated to do whatever the hell you have to do. If you have to kill yourself, break your neck, fucking do whatever, you'll do it because you care. You're in the middle of it. I mean, these people, there's some people that are just feel like they're obligated to get it. And that's the part that pisses me off. The NIL, my parents said this. Well, DJ's got all this money now in the NIL. I said, I wouldn't put him in the game again. I told him, I said, if you put him in the game, make him run 15 freaking quarterback runs until he gets his ass beat into a bloody pulp. And then set him on the bench for 4 series and let the damn backups come in. And teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
But I would be I'd be a mean ass coach. Dabo isn't a mean coach. That's the problem.
Yeah.
See you, Neo. Yeah.
Listen, Matt Campbell got Brock Purdy, highly regarded, 2-year starter. Going to end up throwing for 10,000 yards by the time he's done at Iowa State. And he set him. He benched him. He benched him in the third quarter of the Iowa game. Put him on the bench. Taught him a lesson. Came out Saturday against UNLV.
Yeah.
But he came out Saturday and he was 21 of 24 for 300 some odd yards and 3 touchdowns.
Right.
Got his head back on. Screwed his head back on. Campbell wasn't afraid to yank him. Yank him at home in the big game, in the big rivalry game.
No.
Taught him a lesson.
And if Manny Diaz has got any balls, he'll do that this week against a team that you can afford to do that to.
Right.
But people have to get serious here. It's a big money game, but more importantly, it's a life game. If you don't learn how to live with some guts and learn how to put and produce, then I don't know what to tell you. And nobody has to be perfect at football. I'm not saying
right.
That. And then
nobody is.
But at the same time, because you can't play football doesn't mean you deserve to play football. I mean, because you can't do it doesn't mean you deserve it. And I'm sorry, and I know that hurts people's feelings. But God dang, let's go. Let's go. Oh,
I mean, to your point, I'd have given my right arm to have the opportunity that these guys have. I had to, just because of the way things were in my house, I had to drop out of school my senior year with like a 3.8 GPA. just because it's what had to be done. Bills had to be paid. It is what it is.
I know.
But I mean, my plan was to go to Miami. I wasn't the greatest football player in the world, but I'd have walked on to that team.
Yeah, I could have looked the same thing. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a great player, but at the same time, I could have done differently. But the point is shit happens, and you have to do other things because life takes you different ways. When you're not a good quarterback, when you're not a great linebacker, you have to move. You can't sit here and hold yourself in think you're great and everybody else tell you you're great when you're not great.
Yeah.
When you're not great.
Take responsibility for where you are and know that you got weaknesses.
Make it. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's horrible. It's a horrible feeling.
I'm not sorry. That's life. Life's not fair.
Yes.
It's not fair.
Well, it's not fair. But hey, life actually is fair. To counteract that, I actually think life is really fair. I really do, and it's not fair all the time, but it's fair most of the time.
Yeah,
and it really is. And people get where they're going to be because they're good. You know what they do. You know, people do good things, and but it's not always fair. I don't agree with that, but I think it's mostly fair. I really do.
Well, you know, and I think a lot of these players, I mean, beyond just the entitlement mentality that goes on today, I think they hear the stories of all these, you know, former great players. And I'm going to use my example, you know, whether it's Ed Reed or Santana Moss, but they don't pay attention or don't hold on to the fact that Ed Reed will tell you won't find anybody that worked harder than him to get to where he was.
Yeah. I know it's hard. I mean, I don't disagree. I think that there are a lot of people who put in effort and actually they're not trying to ask for a handout. They're putting in their effort and they get there. But nobody's great. Whenever you think they're all great, they're not great. Some 2 or 3%, maybe 1% are great, but very few. Nobody's great in our world. You, me, and hey, Slim, Ballard, LW.
I'll admit it.
Jada, ain't none of us that great. I mean, we're good enough. I mean, we're not horrible.
No.
We don't suck. But we ain't that great. And that's the sad part about it. And then these players get pretended like they're great in high school and in college. And that's the worst part because they don't know any different. They're not great until they get to be great. Makes me sad. And they have disillusionment. That's the part that kills me. Really
and there's a difference between good and great. Like,
yeah.
You know, and I don't mean to, like, let's just be honest. Trevor Lawrence, I want to say he was great. He's talented. But, like, do we really call him great? Or was he a good quarterback? Because, I mean, first off, define great quarterback or great football player or great. Like,
but the verdict.
He's a great football player.
Ballard, the verdict is still out on him. He needs to prove it. He's going to have to prove it. He ain't great. He ain't great yet. And anybody who says he's great is a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
When he gets, let's just say, 3 Super Bowls, we can talk about him being great.
All right.
Well, he ain't there yet.
If you ain't in the Hall of Fame, you probably ain't great.
Obviously. But, I mean, they were saying he was going to be a first-round draft pick when he was a sophomore in high school, and he was a first-round draft pick. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
First pick overall.
It's overwrought, man. People have made him out to be a king way more than they should have. I'm a Clemson guy, and he's been no, stop. I'm with Ballard on this. When he wins some fucking Super Bowls, then we'll talk. Until then, I don't want to hear it. I just don't. I don't give a shit.
I got what you're saying.
I'd say the same. I'd say the same about Jalen and Tua.
Yes, sir.
And even Derrick Henry. I mean, there's a few Bama players I'd throw in there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't necessarily buy into that because there's plenty of great players that never even make it to a Super Bowl.
Dude.
Fair.
Who?
But they put
Calvin
up good
Johnson.
stats. And
Calvin
they do it on a
Johnson never
consistent
made it to a
basis.
Super Bowl.
Wait, well, hang on. What did you say, Slim?
Calvin Johnson never made it to a Super Bowl.
Fair.
Oh, stop for a minute. Quarterbacks. I'm talking about quarterbacks. Now, if we're going to go into other player positions, then I get it.
Okay. Is Dan Marino not what Dan Marino made it to one, and that's it.
You know, and I'll give you that, Slim. I'll give you that. I think Dan Marino, honest to God, of all the I actually think he might be the best quarterback ever.
Oh.
I really do.
Maybe.
He's better than I actually think he's better than anybody. I'll be honest. He was a great quarterback. Oh my God.
Another one. Here's another one. Jim Kelly made it to 4 straight and never won one.
Jim Kelly, I'm sorry, I can't go there with him, but I can with Marino.
Well, you got to look at like John Elway, for example. He went to 2 Super Bowls, lost because they never got a running back and they didn't have defense, and or 3 Super Bowls, didn't he? And lost.
Yeah, but they won 2 of them.
Well, the 2 at the end when they got Terrell Davis and Shannon Sharp, and
Yeah.
a quarterback can't do it all on his own.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, is Brett Favre any less because he only won 1 Super Bowl? No, I don't think so.
Well,
there's
Brett Favre was a loose cannon. Okay. Now it doesn't mean he wasn't smart. He was smart, but he did some crazy shit. He threw passes he should never have thrown.
2 people that were just made for each other but never ended up together was Bruce Arians and Brett Favre.
Oh yeah.
Who? What was the first one?
Bruce Arians. I mean, both of them. No brisket, no biscuit.
Oh yeah. I saw something a couple months ago that was like, if you imagine if Saban, when he was with the Dolphins, had got Drew Brees, Bama what they are today, it doesn't happen. Like Saban, I feel like was in a situation because you know how hard they fought and how close they were to getting Drew Brees, but they didn't. And within a couple years or so, like Saban was out of Miami. And
here's the thing, though, there's literally 2 college coaches that anybody can name, are really 2 coaches, period, that have ever won championships at both levels.
Jimmy Johnson
and Pete Carroll.
Yep. Yeah.
Jimmy was great.
Now, yes, Barry Switzer is in there too, but Barry Switzer was handed Jimmy Johnson's team.
I think you could have coached that team, Slim.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, well, hang on. Wait, stop. Don't say
that. Yeah.
But, I mean, nobody really gives Switzer any credit for that because, I mean, that was Jimmy's team that he built. And I mean, even Jerry Jones is saying now, he finally said it before the season started this year. Yeah, I fucked up in firing Jimmy.
Well, about Saban in NFL. I laugh every time I hear it.
Oh yeah, when I read that, like as much as I love Saban, and he's a college coach. He's a
True.
recruiter.
Oh, yeah.
He's a college coach. He's a player developer. Listen,
But
he didn't work out in the NFL.
But
And
see,
even if
people
he
say
had
that.
degrees, I don't think that he wins a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying this notion that he was an utter failure, I think is hilarious. He took over a 4-12 team, and his first year he was 9-7.
Yeah.
You know who his quarterbacks were? A busted up Dante Culpepper and a guy named Cleo Lemon.
Oh yeah.
Anybody remember Cleo Lemon?
Cleo, my God.
I mean, I don't think anybody blames Nick Saban for Cleveland. I mean, many a coach and player have gone there to end their career.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel.
But I mean, Johnny Manziel's just one name. But there's a lot of tombstones in Cleveland graveyard. But no, Nick Saban's failure came in Miami.
I agree.
I hate it. I mean, I think of it every time I think about it. It's like it was unnecessary. It's well, I tell people this all the time. Why would you take a job and fail in a really good ecosystem that's on the other side? So college is really where Saban should have been all along. He should never have gone to the NFL. The NFL is a bunch of bullshit. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Well,
and I wouldn't say he shouldn't have left LSU, but at the very least, if he would have left there, why not just go straight to a different
Well, I've heard Nick
school
Saban's,
or something.
I've heard Nick Saban's wife say it before. If they had to do it all over again, they never would have left LSU.
Never.
And
They would have
listen,
won in LSU like they are in Alabama. Seriously, they would have.
And you know what, though? I think people's perceptions can also be skewed. There's a lot of people say, like Nick's the greatest. Some people say Nick's the greatest college coach. There's a lot of people say Bill Belichick's the greatest NFL coach. But I've said it even long before Brady ever left New England. I said without Tom Brady, Bill Belichick has a losing record everywhere he's been.
That's fair.
And we've seen him now for a year without him, and he has a losing record.
What did they go? What did they even go last year? They went like 9-7 or something.
They went 7-9 last year.
7-9.
But see, I actually thought that 7-9 was pretty good for losing Tom Brady, and you had 6 of your best football players opt out.
But they also you got to think brought in Cam Newton too. Not only did they get rid of Tom Brady, they got a veteran in Cam Newton.
There's not a team that didn't have a player opt out, so that's something motivation.
He had 6. Nobody in the NFL had 6.
And I'll grant that, but okay, if Bill Belichick is as great as a lot of people claim him to be, you could have brought another at least decent quarterback in there and still made the playoffs.
Oh, I know. True. I mean, yeah, Tom Brady, has a lot of. He
people saw it last. People saw it last year. 2019 is because Tom Brady had absolutely nothing to work with.
Right.
God.
Well, Gronk had already retired, didn't he? I mean,
yeah, Gronk.
And Julian Edelman's a shell of his former self.
Yeah.
But Slim, you're now in the NFL land.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. I do know enough about NFL to follow all this. I do, but college is where it just makes me so sad.
I am for the most part. I mean, I don't keep up with the NFL like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I mean, like for instance, I watched the Ole Miss Tulane game the other day. I won't sit down and watch a Detroit Baltimore game. I'll watch Tampa Bay, and I'll catch highlights of everybody else.
So what? So just for everybody on this little string here, I liked New England when Parcells came in the first year. The second year, I was in New England. I was living in Boston. I watched them. I watched Parcells just transform the shit out of them, right? And that's where Brady came from, by the way, just so you all know. Then I watched, and I was a Dallas fan when I was growing up in middle school, high school. And I'm 57, so that's old school. I watched them. I watched Landry make the Cowboys be the team. I love the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
I love them. So I know NFL, but I just can't today get all up in them like I used to. Oh my God, they ain't the same.
It's not. But I mean, I'm from Clearwater, Florida, originally, right outside of Tampa.
I know it. Yep.
Has always been my team. Even back when they wore the ugly ass orange creamsicle uniforms. I remember those. Yeah. So I mean, and I remember when they got Mike Allstott to that team, and then they drafted Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp in the second year, and that's when you really started to see them turn around.
Yeah. I remember Shula. I watched Shula and the Miami Dolphins, Larry Zonka, all those guys. They were a good team. I watched them. And I watched Dan Marino. And Dan Marino should have won a Super Bowl. He should have won a Super Bowl. It pisses me off that he didn't. He was good. He's the best quarterback on earth. Seriously. He's even better than all these, blah, 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 blah. No. They weren't good compared to Marino. Marino was the man. He was really good. But I can't make it happen. I tried to pull for him, but I couldn't make it happen. As a fan, there's nothing I can do. All I can do is sit here and go, "Come on, why aren't you winning?" I was at Clemson at the time. I was watching Marino when I was at Clemson. I was going to this freaking pizzeria, and the big screen was on. It was a shitty big screen, by the way. It was one of those projector things or whatever. And I'm watching Marino. I'm like, "Come on, man. Come on." I was pulling for it hard. And they got to the playoffs and got to the Super Bowl, and they couldn't win it. I'm like, man. Killed me, man.
I just remembered about we had this player when Saban first got to Tuscaloosa. I think actually he might have been under Shula like in 06, but y'all remember the name Javier Arenas for Alabama?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, that man could return a kick for sure. Oh, he was good.
Mm-hmm.
He was fast. He was hard hitting. Man.
I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
I was in the stadium when Devin Hester played his very first game and returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown against the Gators.
Oh.
You're horrible. Slady, I don't know how the hell do you get here? How do you make it this old? Are you, how old are you, Slim?
I'll be 34 in March.
44?
34.
34.
Yes,
He
sir.
cuts back to the 10. 5. Touchdown, Javier Arenas. Alabama. Touchdown.
I'm an old soul there, Huffer Billy. I'm wise beyond my years.
I have to say, man, you are. You really are. Thank God. Thank God. But I've lived so long and I get so jaded because I've seen enough, negative nonsense. It's hard to be optimistic. I'm not optimistic.
Well, and that's why, and I've said it 100 times, That's why this streak Miami's been on hasn't bothered me because it just look back through college football history. I mean, me and Webster have had this conversation. He's seen 2 20-year droughts for Alabama. It happens to everybody.
Well,
Yep.
Yeah, I remember too.
I went through. Bama was the national champions when I was in the 8th grade or 7th grade and the 8th grade, 78, 79. Then I went all through junior high, all through high school. Went to school at Alabama. Come up to work for the Associated Press, and I had to wait 13 years for them to win the title in '92. Then I had to wait 17 years for them to win the title in '09.
Yeah.
So I know all about waiting, biding your time.
Yep.
yeah. Well, I hate to tell you, Alabama's had many less years than Miami or Clemson or even
Yeah, because
Auburn.
what was it, Paul? When you guys won with Deshaun Watson a few years ago, when you beat us, it was like a 35-year drought from 1981 to 16, right?
82. Well, it was
82.
81. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It was 81.
Okay.
And I went to school there in 82.
Okay.
So I went to Clemson in 82, but yeah, they won in 81. But you're right. I mean, it's a long drought. So Alabama, I mean, as much as people want to, oh well, Alabama, don't poor mouth Alabama.
Right.
Alabama ain't got nothing. They're the golden child. No, it's not because they didn't try. It's not because they didn't put the effort in. It's not because they didn't do the right things and administratively and infrastructurally. No, they did. They've always done it, right? I mean, God dang, give them credit for God's sakes.
Yeah.
They've done everything they can to keep Alabama there, right? Period. I don't know what the hell to tell people, but that's what they've done, and nobody else seems to care. But
Alabama has won 10 national championships and had 2 losing seasons in my 55 years.
But you know why? Because people outside of the freaking football program made sure they weren't going to be starved. They were going to get what they're going to feed the damn beast. Now, at Clemson, did they do that? Did it Auburn? Did they do that? They tried, but they didn't stay the course. They all faltered. They faltered, but Alabama did not. And give them credit. That's just.
And to Huckleberry Paul's point, he's absolutely right. Because, come 2001, when Donna Shalala come into Miami, she wanted to pull all this money away from the football program and put it somewhere else in the school to try to make the school bigger and better.
Fuck her. Fuck her. To be honest. I hate that bitch. I mean, I hate her with all my passion.
Wow.
Don't even understand. I mean, I hate.
And she's the one that led to them hire Larry Coker. She wanted to bring in Barry Alvarez to be Miami's head
coach. Listen, guys, it's getting late. I'm at least gonna.
You can close it down.
Yeah, I'm at least gonna end it on YouTube. Y'all in the comments, just hit that thumbs up on your way out. If you're new and you're watching this,
not already. I have.
And we'll catch you guys